Hi, this is Keeper, and welcome back to On Air. I'm so glad you could join me today. Today we take a look at the new movie, Forward, the network marketing movie, a fantastic movie that shares the story of who we are in network marketing direct selling through many of those who've been on the ground telling the story. Forward, the network marketing movie, went into national release on December 1st, and it is doing fantastic. It is a movie that I believe will really enhance your ability to prospect and share the story with anyone that you want. To that end, we have two special guests with us today. One that's familiar to all of you. That would be Janine Avila, makes a return visit, former vice president of OxyFresh in 2110, who also appears in the movie, will be here today on Air. Also, one of the founders of Avaya Media, Ashley Anderson, also stops by on air to tell what it was like to create the movie, to talk to many of the leaders that appear in the movie. So sit back and relax and join us today here on Air.
When my mother used to sell Princess House.
Joined them way that night.
Norma siempre vendía cosas de Avon.
Oh, it must have been around 1935.
But those knives were amazing.
The one lady's name was Mary Kay, and I said, oh, cosmetics will never sell on Party Plan.
Was a single mom and created these hair care products for black women and became the first self-made millionaire in the United States. I just think that's extraordinary.
Welcome back to On Air. As I said, we have a very, very special guest. Once again, we have Janine Avila, the former vice president of OxyFresh in 2110. If those of you who saw our broadcast last week with Janine, we talked about women in the boardroom, which she was absolutely fantastic. Janine, how are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be back here again today.
You look absolutely beautiful this morning, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a great way to start my day.
Well, it's absolutely true. As I said, we talked last week about women in the boardroom, which is something that I would love to come back to you later on in the next few months and talk once again. It's such a big issue, and I certainly want to explore what you just shared about our conversation between you and your dad. However, today is about another project that you were a part of, a new movie for network marketing called Forward, the network marketing movie that went into national release on December 1st. It's a fantastic movie, and I want to talk to you about it, what your experience was, what's the vision of the entire project, and where do you think it's going to go. So if you could, kind of tell us a bit about it.
Well, you know, it was interesting. It was the fourth quarter of last year, I got a phone call from my assistant who said she'd been contacted by the DSA and said that there was a movie that was being made to help further the image of direct selling, and that they were interested in people who had had large roles in our industry. And I was intrigued by what they said because, as you know, you have to be careful where you commit your time, especially when you're busy and you have a lot of things going on. And I'm very careful about what I put my name and my image on around our industry. And she said they wanted people who had contributed to our industry and also had, you know, really benefited from our industry. And I was interested in that comment in itself, contributed to and benefited from.
When you say she, are you talking about Ashley Anderson over at Avaya, who's one of the co-founders of the company and is behind this project?
Well, this was the message I got through my assistant from the Direct Selling Association through Ashley. Okay. And they said Ashley was interested in having a conversation and interviewing me to see if I would be a possible candidate to be in this movie. And so I got on the phone with Ashley because I was interested. She said it was going to be generic and to help people understand more about our industry. So when I called Ashley and I asked her what kind of a movie, what was it? To be honest with you, I wanted to make sure it wasn't something hokey or, kind of self-promoting. And she said it's kind of like what Super Size Me did to help people understand the fast food industry. And they sort of had me at that because this industry has been so good to me, and I want to do anything I can to help other people realize what's possible. So I actually I had a very busy fourth quarter of last year. I had 1 week that I was wide open, and that happened to be the only week they were open and they wanted to do the shoot. So we knew it was meant to be, so I flew up to Denver and we did it.
So knowing that we don't have a lot of time on this particular segment of the show, tell us what it was like, because in watching the movie and doing some of the research on it, they brought in a number of people from a number of different companies to be a part of this project. Knowing that that's the type of path that they were going on in order to create it, did that give you a sense of that this is going to be a much bigger thing than you actually realized?
Yeah, it really did. When I heard some of the other people that were going to be in the movie, some of the people I knew personally, some I'd heard of, and I was impressed with the caliber of people they were using. They were real people who had really built solid businesses and good-hearted people who had hearts of contribution also. So I was pretty happy with that. But I have to tell you, when I got out there, it was actually when I met Ike Allen and Ashley Anderson and kind of saw their heart and their intention, it inspired me even more to want to participate and to really help promote the movie, because I know how much it can help people. And I don't get anything for the promotion of this. I do it because, like you, I care about this industry and what it can do. But, you know, Keeper, they asked me questions that I don't think anybody's ever asked me before. And they kind of probed in, and it was great.
Let's go back to that. We've got a couple of minutes here. You said they asked you questions that typically aren't asked of you. Can you give us an example?
Yeah, they were asking me questions about, like, why people fail and can anybody do this? Do you feel anybody can do network marketing? And what are the reasons that people, what's some of the downsides? Like, they were willing to explore both sides of it, and they gave us the opportunity to give honest answers, which are important because, as you well know, our industry can get a bad rap for hype and not telling the facts and painting only a rosy picture. And they gave us an honest opportunity to really help people by just painting an honest picture of what this industry is.
You've been around for quite some time. You are a very well-known individual in direct selling, and of course you've seen a lot of products along these lines. What makes Forward, the network marketing movie, different than anything else that's out there?
I think it's because it's absent of hype. It was very factual and straightforward. In fact, there's a place in the movie where they asked me a question, and I told a story about when I lost my granddaughter, and I started to cry. And I was kind of embarrassed because I hadn't realized I was going to get so emotional, because it was, 10 years ago, and I've been able to talk about it since. But in this setting, I didn't think they would use that, but they did, because it was a very real emotion, and that kind of showed me their heart of showing people, because I was talking about this industry, surround yourself with the right people and how it can support you in more ways than financially. And that was a huge element, and they kept it in, even though it wasn't the most attractive scene.
Well, as you and I have talked about in the past, the fact that they would do that, to me, is very, very important, because it says to me that they're interested in the life experiences of the distributor and getting back to telling the stories as opposed to talking, as I mentioned, the hype about the money, the great products. Our industry, the foundation, are our personal stories, and that's what sells not only the individual but our companies and, of course, our industry.
Yeah, that's exactly what attracted me to it, and I didn't feel any, kind of hype energy like they were just trying to sell movies. Ike Allen's mother had been a distributor and, in a company, and he was very passionate about what it had done for their family, and it was just a very heartfelt project, and I saw a lot of intelligence around it about really wanting to educate the public about what this industry is. He said people understand franchise, but they don't understand direct selling.
Right. Well, as I said in the beginning, this is one of the shorter segments for you, and I want to make sure that people understand, because we're getting ready to wrap this up, who you are. You are one of the more prolific and well-known coaches in direct selling. You have business tools as well. If someone wants to contact you and learn more about you, how they can get coaching through you or just about anything else, or just have one of these conversations where you share some of your stories, how would they go about it?
Well, thank you. That's very kind. I have a website, JanineAvila.com, and I actually have a little trailer of the movie on there. I have an 800 number, 800-779-1562, and there's always pretty much somebody there to answer. And I'm on Facebook and Twitter, Janine Avila. You can find me on Facebook and just kind of all over the place. I really enjoy connecting with people, and if I can bring something to help people, make their business easier, more fun, more successful, that's what I love to do.
Well, it's been wonderful having you on once again. Thank you so much for getting up this morning and doing this. And did I tell you look absolutely gorgeous this morning?
You did, but you can never hear that too much. Thank you, Keeper.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we are done.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
Good, good. I see where Ashley came online as we were talking, so she's all ready to go.
Okay.
This is a great opportunity for me to always talk to you. You're just wonderful to have exchanges with in the morning, because you are you have a great personality, a great smile. So thank you very much for getting up and doing this.
Thank you. It's a fun way for me to start my day, too. Okay, and let me know if there's anything else I can do. I'll be happy to do it.
Thank you very much. Take care.
All right. Say hi to Ashley for me.
I will. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome back to On Air. As promised, we have one of the co-founders of the media company, the fast-growing, fast-rising media company, certainly here in direct selling and beyond, the media company of Avaya. We have co-founder Ashley Anderson. How are you?
I am fabulous, Keeper. Thanks for having me today.
You know, it's very exciting to have you on Avaya, and of course we're going to talk about the network marketing movie, or Forward, the network marketing movie, in just a second. But I want to give people a little brief overview of what you guys are all about. Avaya is a media company. If you go to their YouTube page, it's Avaya Conscious Living, and they're certainly all about that. I saw that you have A Course in Miracles, the movie, which was really exciting to see. I've read the book, and you have another product that is something that is very, very dear to me, and certainly on the topic, empowering women and beyond. And of course, we're going to talk about the movie Forward. Tell us a bit about you and a bit about the media company Avaya.
Well, Avaya started a few years ago with my partner Ike Allen and myself, and our mission truly is to create as much positive material as we possibly can in the world. Our world is often viewed as problematic, and we just want to get on the bandwagon of putting out positive material. So when we began, we actually started creating consciousness films, more along the lines of spirituality and questioning the nature of reality and things like that. So that is one of, like, the A Course in Miracles movie you mentioned is in that genre. And as time moved on, we started doing a little bit of work with business films, and that's where Empowering Women in Business and Beyond came about. And then we found ourselves creating Forward last spring. It was actually a very quick project. We started realizing how many people within our seminars, we teach a lot of seminars about leaping beyond your limits and being successful in life, and questioning the nature of reality and all sorts of things. And we found so many people within network marketing within our seminars that we were massively intrigued, and everyone we interacted with within those seminars in network marketing were so positive and so passionate about what they did and do that we decided we wanted to create a film about the industry as an independent company, not affiliated with any network marketing company. We wanted to take like an outside look into the industry.
Good. You mentioned your partner, Ike Allen, and his background a bit. Can you kind of expand on it? Because I want people to understand that we're not just talking about some people who just kind of put something together. The background with the people being behind this is pretty extensive.
Absolutely. You know, my partner, he is my business partner as well as my life partner. And he has two beautiful daughters that are my stepdaughters today. They're 3 and 6. And so we have an amazing life together. And he's an amazing person. He actually created a company before Avaya and started creating some of the films that you mentioned, like A Course in Miracles, the movie, another movie called Leap, another movie called The Quantum Leap. So a lot of the ones that we focus on the spirituality genre were created several years ago. And actually, he and I met about 2 years ago, actually on Valentine's Day. And we met on Valentine's Day. We were both single, and I actually started working with him shortly thereafter, and then we created the media company called Avaya. And Ike is amazing. He's an international speaker. He is a fabulous businessman and is massively committed to shedding positive light on everything we can in the world.
Well, very, very nice. And hopefully through this broadcast and other things that we want to talk to you about, how we can help spread the word about Forward, we can help with the trajectory of the growth of the movie Forward. Let's talk about that a bit. The movie Forward, the network marketing movie, there are a lot of movies, there are a lot of tools out there that try to approach this topic. What is it about Forward that makes it so different, and why should direct sellers gravitate towards it?
Well, I think what's really unique about Forward, and it has turned out so well, we're very excited about it, is that we are an independent company. You know, we have no affiliation with any particular company within network marketing. We are truly out to show the world that this is an amazing opportunity for entrepreneurs, an amazing opportunity for people who want to perhaps quit their jobs and get into something different, or have something alongside with their jobs, and just to really let people know that this is a massive entrepreneurial opportunity for people. So I think that's really what Forward brings to the table. And I think it's a very basic overview of the industry. It's very inspiring. Most of the feedback that we get is massively positive, and everyone is talking about how they love the stories. They love because they can connect with each individual person on a very personal, emotional level.
Right,
and people are real, authentic people in this film sharing their stories of how this has changed their lives. And I think it's going to be a great tool specifically for people who are thinking about getting into the industry. I think it's going to be a great overview for people.
Okay. I was involved in a project a couple of years ago with the Direct Selling Women's Alliance. You may or may not know of them or even have heard of them, but a project called Build It Big, which came with it was a DVD that also brought a number of high-powered people from direct selling, those of us who participated in it, and tried to give the same type of overview. It also came with a companion book, and then book 2 came out later. I understand how these types of projects can be so incredibly beneficial to those of us who are involved in direct selling. Your experience with getting together with so many people, I believe you tapped into over 20 different companies and brought individuals into this. What was that like to sit down with some of these people and hear some of their stories? Because in the previous segment, I talked to Janine about it, and one of the things that I really like about it is that it's not about the hype. It's really about telling the story, which I think direct selling over the past few years has really gotten away from. That is the foundation of who we are, should always be front and center. It's never about the product. It's never about the opportunity, but it's about the sharing of the story, so you get that emotional connection, that emotional transference of energy. That's how people feel it, and that's how people will receive it. So from your experience with these people in studio, what was it like? What were some of the most impactful stories that you heard?
Oh my gosh, Keeper, there were so many. I can't tell you, and this is just funny to say, that I cried more times than I can count during the creation of this film. I truly did. We met some of the most inspiring, passionate, just giving people that I've ever met before. And we've created a lot of films, and we have, over 300 some interviews in our editing studio. And I cannot tell you how inspirational this was for both of us. I'm trying to think of some stories. Randy Haugen was one of the gentlemen we interviewed for the film, and he and I had several very emotional moments, and he talked a lot about stories of basically, his parents didn't have enough money to buy a roof for their house. Their roof is leaking. They don't have a great quality of life, and he knew that he could just go over to their house and give them $5,000 cash to buy a roof.
Wow.
And telling stories like that just, it really pulls on the heartstrings and makes you realize, wow, I can, create this massive opportunity for myself if I so choose to become involved in network marketing, and look what I can do for my family. Look what I can do for the world. Another great story is from Dan Mays, who was interviewed for the film, and he and his wife have created so much success for themselves, and they're not stopping. They have created a foundation in Mexico and are rebuilding a school down there. So there are massive, massive stories. And Janine, who was just on the show a little bit ago, she had a great story about, being able to be in the right place when you need to be. If you have a family emergency, if you have something going on, you can buy a ticket. There's no question. You can get to where you need to go because you have the financial income coming in. You have the residual. Another story, Nancy Botcher talked about her son being very ill, and she had to take quite a lot of time off of her network marketing business. But because of that network, they worked for her and with her, and she ended up getting a check larger than any check that she'd ever received after she got back from taking care of her son. I mean, these stories are what makes this movie so special, because people can relate to these people on an individual level. They can see themselves in it, and they can realize, wow, this is actually an opportunity for me. I could create this kind of success in my life. I could bring it out to the world. So I think that's what's so special about Forward.
That's just an outstanding assessment about the whole process of what network marketing direct selling, when done right, is what you get out of it. That's the entire benefit package right there. We don't have a lot of time. In fact, we've only got another minute or two here, but there's a couple of things that I would like to mention before we get away. In February, for those of you that are watching Direct Selling Live, we will be coming out with our annual 25 must-have items for success list. The movie Forward will definitely be on that list. I think it's an absolutely great movie. It's one of the best movies that I've seen, and absolutely the best movie that I saw. Certainly, even though it came out a national release on December 1st, I would say it's the best movie that I saw for 2011 as it relates to direct selling and what it can do for you. Also, one of your other projects is going to be on the list. As those of you who know me know that I'm really about empowering women, particularly in direct selling and in the boardrooms. Avila has, as I mentioned up front, the movie Empower, Empowering Women in Business and Beyond. That DVD will also be on the 25 must-have items for success list in direct selling for 2012. As we wrap this up, Ashley, for those people who want to learn more about you and Ike and Avila and your entire process and what you're doing, but more specifically for direct sellers about Forward, how do they contact you? Website, phone number, email, what do they do? Because I'm really hoping that a lot of people come to you, because we're also going to begin to promote this more and more on Direct Selling Live.
Absolutely. Thank you, Keeper. Yeah, everyone can go to www.forwardmovie.com. That's where you can learn information about the film. And also within our website, you can find out about some new projects we're working on. We're actually starting to create a new film within network marketing that's going to be interviewing company owners as well as other leaders in the industry. And we are looking for recommendations for who to interview for that. So we would love some feedback on that, and you can sign up for our newsletter there as well. And also Ike and I are speakers, and we'd love to come speak at your conferences. We'd love to come show the film for you. We'd love to be on calls with you. We are open to anything and everything to help promoting the industry.
You guys are absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure you guys heard it. Breaking news here. They're going to start to work on another film for the entire direct selling industry. We love doing breaking news here. We absolutely love it. We do it quite a bit. Thank you so much for coming on. We're going to want to have you back because we're continuing more and more with our Women in the Boardroom look. We're going to want to have you back, as I said, in the next 7 to 8 weeks, to talk about this issue about women in the boardroom. I think your movie Empower will speak to that in a very big way. Thank you very much, Ashley. Have a fantastic day. Everyone, go out and get the movie Forward, the movie. the great network marketing movie that will help you build your business and share the entire story of what direct selling is really all about. Thanks again.
Thanks, Keeper.
When my mother used to sell Princess House.
Joined them way that night.
Norma siempre vendía cosas de Avon.
Oh, it must have been around 1935.
But those knives were amazing.
The one lady's name was Mary Kay, and I said, oh, cosmetics will never sell on party plan.
Was a single mom and created these hair care products for black women and became the first self-made millionaire in the United States. I just think that's extraordinary.
That's our show for today. Once again, we want to say a very special thank you to Janine Avila for stopping by here on Air once again. It's becoming commonplace now, I suppose. But we want to say thank you once again, Janine Avila, former vice president of OxyFresh in 2110, for stopping by and share her perspective on what it was like to participate on such a groundbreaking film, Forward, the network marketing movie. Also, a very, very big thanks to Ashley Anderson, one of the co-founders of Avaya Media, the people that actually created Forward, the network marketing movie. She had some absolutely fantastic insights. I hope you really enjoyed it. We're going to have her on next month as we continue our series with women in the boardroom, or what we call missing women in the boardroom. Her perspective should be quite insightful, as well as also another revisit by Janine Avila. Have a great day, and we will see you next week here on Air with Keeper.